you can do is tell people to let us know when there's going to be somebody making noises outside of our door. And
Yeah,
then
really.
and then I found out Wells Fargo had credited me twice, but I didn't know it. So today they took out $500 that they gave me extra. So now I'm overdrawn because I didn't know I'd
Wow.
been credited twice. Other than that, I got confirmation that I'm going to have Bobby Rydell on June 9th. So who's winning now?
That's awesome.
Is that cool or what?
That
Hey,
is.
Facebook, look who we got here for you today. A Vegas comedian. She's an actress and a writer, and she has her own, hold up a second, I want to get it right. And she has her own podcast named Vegas Playground. We got to find out about this. We know Vegas is a playground, but we got to get sorry, my earbud. Luella Chavez answered many, many questions. Welcome to Comic Spot, Luella Chavez.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. It's like I've been watching a couple of your interviews. They're very entertaining.
Thank you so much. I put a lot of heart into it, so I'm glad somebody's enjoying them. Thank you.
Well, it sounds like a lot of people are.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I haven't met you in person, have I?
Yeah.
I did. Where did I meet you?
Rebar. Um, just like kind of like a hello with the eyes, like
Okay,
passing each other.
cool. All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't talk with you and then forgot it. That would be horrible.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. We were never introduced.
Great. Okay. Well, I want to zoom through your life. I want to know everything that got you to where you are here and where you want to go from here. So
Okay.
let's start at the beginning, Luella. I want to know you're doing comedy and writing and a podcast, but in your life, when do you recall making somebody crack up laughing and you got the bug earliest in your life? Where was that first in your life?
Oh, I don't know. I think just privately with friends, just dancing and singing and around, slumber parties probably.
There you go. Did you grew up in San Jose?
Yes, San Jose,
Yeah.
California. Born and raised.
You probably grew up there when it was affordable to live there?
I mean,
Or
I wouldn't know because, well, yeah, I mean, in the 80s.
okay, well that's better than now, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's from what I hear.
Do you still have relatives and friends in San Jose?
I do. I do.
Do you go
Not a
there?
ton, but the last time I think I was there was 2013, and I didn't stay there. I was just flying through there to get to a friend's wedding. So that was it, though.
Cool. So how long has Vegas been your home?
Since 1999.
Wonderful. Wow, a long time. And
Yeah.
how long have you been on stage doing comedy?
Since February.
No way. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Have you been writing for comedy before then?
Well, it was something somebody told me I should try, and I kind of held on to that for a long time. I always kind of was into the acting thing more so in the beginning, and when I was really, really trying to get serious about it, I started writing my own demo reels. So,
Wow. And how did that go? What's happened with your acting?
um, I mean, it's up and down, especially right now since not a whole lot's going on. But I am going to be shooting something. I have a small little thing in a friend's short tomorrow, so that's coming up.
Yes. Cool. Do you know what it's about, or what are you allowed to say what it is yet, or you'll tell us later?
I probably should have been more prepared. Um,
We
but
can get it later. I got all the time in the world. I'm retired. I'll add it later.
yeah, but that's what I'll be doing tomorrow.
So you have a podcast too. Tell me about your podcast.
Well, the reason I started the podcast was because I wanted to be, so part of the whole demo reel thing was I didn't know how to work camera equipment or do anything like that or edit, nothing like that. And so what prompted me to try the podcast was because it was something that I could do all by myself without anybody's help, having to coordinate times to work with someone else or anything like that. So that's kind of what got me interested in doing it, and just to create my own content. I mean, that's really how it kind of started. The podcast, again, like when I started, I knew I wanted it to be just kind of like me talking candidly about like my experiences and stuff like that. I wanted it to be fun. And I also was in the beginning trying to add a lot of like anecdotes about shooting here in Vegas, like shooting different projects, and a little bit about behind the scenes and stuff like that. It's kind of changed or evolved over time because I've had it for almost 2 years now. Actually, I think it might be 2 years exactly.
Congratulations, my gosh.
Well, thank you. There were some times in there that I took a few months off, but
yeah.
But even now, like I probably should record an episode sometime before the month ends. But I mean, I guess it's pretty personal. I talk a lot about what's going on with my life, and just try to make it fun.
That's awesome. I love doing a podcast by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and you mentioned that you're doing yours by yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I tried doing one a few years ago with a co-person, and it started out very good, yin and yang. She was young, I was old. We had a lot to talk about, but somewhere along the line, things fell apart, how they do. And I'm so happy to be doing one by myself.
Yeah, exactly. See, you've got your own thing going on, so you don't have to really rely on anybody. And except T-Mobile, I heard you were having some problems with that, but
I'm gonna tell you, I've been babysitting them, but they admitted that they have been failing a lot, so they gave me a big old huge credit back.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's cool, right? Little things like that can make your day, especially at my age. It doesn't take a lot. If a cockroach can upset me, 250, just think what a $240 credit from T-Mobile can do.
For sure.
So tell me, when you the very first time you decided, you know what, I'm going to go on stage. What was the jitters like? What was the experience like?
Gosh, and it wasn't that long ago. So, I mean, I was a little nervous. I had my friends there watching, and I don't think I was, like I said, I was just a little nervous, and I'll be honest, I had taken a lot of time from drinking. So I was really going through a bout of boredom because, gosh, I'm stumbling over my words. But the thing is, I was feeling very, very neutral, and and like it started depression, and then I worked my way out of that to just straight boredom with everything in life. And so I think I probably would have been more nervous had I been drinking at the time, just because I'm honestly, at that point, I was really just looking for a thrill.
Yeah. That makes sense. I get it.
I get it. So that's kind of where I was mentally with all of that. Yeah, I'd taken 6 months off. It started on Christmas Day of 2019, and I had a birthday in January. I went skydiving, and they're like, "Are you excited?" Like, they want me to get all amped up, and I was like, "Yeah." Like, I think I built it up more just to make them feel better that I was excited about having this experience for the first time.
And your first time on stage, how did it go? And I think doing comedy is exactly like skydiving, by the way.
I think I got really great feedback. So, and my friends were really impressed. They were kind of scared for me. I think they were more scared than I was. But but then when I finished, they were just like, "Wow, like that's really cool. I can't believe you just did that. It was amazing. You did a great job. I got, and not just from friends, other people too. I got a lot of really great feedback from it. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So how often do you go up on stage in the last 2 years? Like on a weekly basis, how hard have you been?
I had been trying to go every week, and then when the quarantine fell upon us, then I had to stop, but I just went back this past Monday. So, and that was different too, because it was the first time I had done it after cocktails.
Wow. How did it go?
I think it went well. I got, again, good feedback. So.
Great. Which bar did you go to? I went down to Boulder City.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I probably should be going to Boulder City since I live closer to there, but I was at Dive Bar.
I love the Dive Bar.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a loose cannon.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a dive bar.
Yeah.
I love it there, though. How did your set go? Went good, right?
I think so. I felt good about it, and I guess that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah, and we should feel good about it, like we're the heroes. Forget doctors and nurses. We're the heroes. We all know. No, just kidding. I can't believe they're telling us we're not essential. I mean,
I know. I mean, what's everybody doing right now? They're all streaming and watching content.
Yeah, so. It proves that we are essential.
People have to do something, right?
Yeah. Some of us are asexual. Some of us are just essential. There's a difference.
Totally.
Word play. That's what I got to get out there. So tell me about you off stage. When you're not trying to be Little Miss Funny and you're just who you are, what are your people need to get to know comics off stage in order to fall in love with them and want to go support them. So here's your chance to say, I like to go and shop on storefronts but never go in, or I love to go out to eat and run. I don't anything that you like doing, just that would be cool for people.
I like doing a lot of things. I think one of my big things is working out and yoga and just getting back into running again, but I'm doing that every day.
Wow.
The writing thing, I know, but that still kind of goes back to comedy. I cook and I clean every day. I'm a housewife.
Wow. Do you have children?
Yes.
How many children do you have? And have they had their gender reveal party yet?
Gross. No, I'm just kidding. I'm out of that phase. I have 2 stepchildren. One is gonna be 24 on Tuesday. Wow. One's 22, and then my son just turned 18 on Thursday, which is why I couldn't. You asked me to do this last Thursday, and that's why I couldn't.
Yes, I'm so glad that we rescheduled. You're just a delight. So what's it like having a blended family and holding down comedy?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of material from their relationships with each other?
I'm sure I could come up with some. I haven't written that in just yet. I'm still working on my past 40 years of trauma. So working through that right now. And then I'll get everybody up to speed at some point, I'm sure.
So what is your comedy about?
Well, like I said in the beginning, it did have a lot to do with my experiences being sober, because I have a lot of experience not being sober. So it was a interesting experience. But and then this last time, I talked a little bit about my mom, and I had mentioned something about my son. I mean, it was a little 5 minutes. And next week it'll probably be something different. I think it'll be probably about some of my job history.
Oh, those are always fun. I love hearing stories from people's job history. Oh my gosh. I think that's really great material. Jobs you've been fired from, jobs where they're crazy coworker. I mean, so many ways to go with that.
Yeah, exactly. And we've all been there. Like, I don't know anybody who hasn't had to work. So we've all have some sort of experience in that
Yeah.
realm.
So, what's a goal you're going after with your comedy, your acting, your writing, your podcast? Do you have certain goals where you'll know you've accomplished what you were setting out to do when you arrived to that spot in those areas?
Um, I mean, my goals are to make money off of it.
There you
So
go.
I can stop talking about these dumb jobs I had, or at least talk about them in retrospect instead of feeling like I'm going through it while I'm talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, that probably is my ultimate goal, is just to make a, a lucrative living doing it.
Absolutely. Well, you're
And to
no,
make people smile.
yeah, throw that in. It's fun to make people laugh and smile, but if you're not making money at it, a lot of people come from the position that if you're not making money, you're not a professional. So, it's nice to get to when you finally get to the point that people are actually giving you money for this. It feels good. One time I got $50 and I hardly did 5 minutes, and I was like, I guess, thank you. But yeah, but making that happen, making it rain money all the time. I mean, my hat's off to anybody that's a working comic that's getting paid and promoting yourself to clubs and going on the road. And that's the thing I've learned on this podcast here. Well, this show that's becoming a podcast is that I am so humbled with the level of talent, not just in Vegas. I mean, Vegas, man, there's so many people here that have so many decades of experience being on the road and opening for big name talent, winning contests, it just
Oh
humbles
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But it also gives you something to shoot for, So there's
Yeah.
a lot of ways you can go and there's so much to go out and try to get.
For sure. And I think, we all have different stories to tell. So I think it's important to get those out there. We're tired of watching sequels.
Yes, yes, we are indeed.
Sequels
Have
and
you
remakes.
do you look at yourself more as maybe getting Vegas paid gigs or going on the road or flying around the world entertaining the troops? Where do you see yourself in the whole comedy on stage?
Honestly, I will pretty much take whatever I can get that fits with my lifestyle. If it's a gig next week in Vegas, I'll do it. If it's a gig next week in a state I can drive to right now, I'll do it. I'm going to try to do what I can when I can. That's just kind of like the way I am with everything, the way I am with working out. I think, just trying to do my best and not pressure myself too much, because then it just makes you feel bad, and who wants that?
Yeah, that's great. That's absolutely great. Do you have a certain way that you come up with your jokes? Like, for instance, me, my I see something or I hear a word in my head, and then the whole joke has to be built around a word. But
Um,
everybody's got their own way. So I was just kind of curious, how do you develop your jokes? Where does the nugget usually come from?
it could be anything. It could be like a conversation I'm having, because it's just I find it so interesting, the way your interactions play off other people and their perceptions of you, and how um, just like I was having a conversation with somebody and I told them that they were fun, and they thought I was being facetious, and I'm like, no, I'm normally not like sarcastic like that. Like, if I am, because I don't ever want to like offend or hurt anybody's feelings, if I am being sarcastic, I usually overplay it. Like, oh, we all know, like you're so OCD, you're never like that, or so, because I'm not in the business of making anyone feel bad, so that's not usually the route I take.
Yeah, that's hilarious the way you just delivered that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I get that. That's a good thing for people to learn too, because everybody's got a style. If you are naturally, sarcastic, you can get away with certain delivery style of it. But if you're not, you have to pull a different punch.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I'm usually on the level. So if I tell you something and I'm complimenting you, and you don't need to stop and think twice that I'm genuine with my words, because I try to just be straightforward.
That's such a good policy. Oh my gosh.
You think? I hope
Yeah.
so.
You know, I don't like having to second guess people. And in the world of people, a lot of times men tend to be more straightforward, even if, it doesn't come out the way we women want to hear something. And I love it when a woman is straightforward, because I've been around the block 69 times, and and or is it the sun? I forget. And so if I'm relating to anybody and they are who they are and they say what they mean, I can trust them.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, and you may not like everything I say, but at least you'll know where you stand, for sure.
absolutely. And that's all it takes for me to know, like, and trust somebody. Is I just want to know that what they're saying is really how they feel. There's nothing worse than being told something and finding out 3 weeks later from somebody, don't play those Portland, Oregon games with me.
Yeah, I've been on that. Been there for sure.
Yes, we've all been on the receiving end of that stick.
Exactly.
So it's no fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So let's say we go through this pandemic through the end of the year and it opens up really around the country in 2021. Do you have any idea where you're going to be, like, going to do comedy or want to go? Because, like, I want to get in an RV with a couple other comics and go around the country for a year. I think that would be a blast. That's what I'm
Oh.
thinking.
Well, if it weren't a year straight, I'd say sign me up. But but unfortunately, like I said, I have other people that I have to tend to. But I mean, I honestly don't know. I feel like it's for me right now, just because with everything that's been going on, I've had so many like mental ups and downs and emotional ups and downs. I don't, again, put too much pressure on myself for the next thing all the time.
Good.
So I don't have anything specific or detailed in mind, but I do just want to kind of keep doing it and hopefully gain some momentum, and eventually one thing will lead to the next and so on.
Well, I'm so glad to get to know you, and, being in comedy for 2 years. Do you have a group of people you sit with and chop up material with and get inspiration from over
Mm,
coffee or
I
like
haven't. I haven't been doing it for 2 years, Linda. I said I've
I
been
thought you.
doing February. The podcast is 2 years old.
Oh, I got it twisted. Pardon
Yeah.
me. All the pieces. Thank you, Luella.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, since February, holy Toledo. Well, if you ever want to meet for coffee and chop up material with me, I could use somebody to bounce stuff against too.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
That would
get a
be awesome.
gaggle of women together to meet at coffee, or just you and me. I'll do it.
For sure.
So hit me up. I mean, it's boring out. I live alone. I really, I have visitors, but they're called cockroaches, So I could use, I could so use someone to have especially today. I could so use to have, yeah, let's meet and do some joke writing.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, you can tell me what's wrong with my jokes. I can't tell. It's like if you're drawing your own self-portrait or you're doing your own autobiography, you need somebody else to look at it. You can't see it, right? So let's meet.
Yeah, for sure. It's the date. We just
It's a
need
date.
just set a time.
Do it on the regular, and then we can
Yeah.
get better and better, help each other. I'm going to head on out unless there's anything you want to say to people to make them fall deeper in love with you, as if that's possible.
Oh, stop.
You're awesome. You're an
Well,
awesome
thank
person.
you. No, I mean, you can follow me on my social media. Everything's usually my name. I'm really easy to find.
Okay. And so your podcast, where can they find that podcast?
Oh, I'm so bad with technology. I know it's on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
I know that it's I think it's on iHeartRadio because somebody asked me if I was, and then they were trying to Google it, and then they couldn't find me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get on top of that right now. I know that there are limited episodes, I believe, on SoundCloud or Spotify. I can't remember. I get messages from them all the time saying I'm taking up too much free space. So then I have to delete an old episode and add a new one, and it's kind of a headache. Or you can go direct on Libsyn's website. You can find it there for sure.
What on what website?
Libsyn.
Libson?
Libsyn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of your podcast again is?
Vegas Playground with Luella Chavez.
Wonderful. With Luella Chavez. Perfect. Let's get that on the post, and I'll get it rocking and rolling for you. And my editor will go over this, and we'll have an edited professional version out in a couple days, and then I'll send it to you so that you can send the edited one out as well.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Luella. We'll get together for coffee. I mean,
definitely. It was lovely talking to you.
Lovely talking to you too. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.